Hello and welcome back to Timberborn. This is episode 10 of our playthrough on the lakes map. We're playing in normal mode and we're playing as the Folktails, and this is our tutorial playthrough. So we had a comment about explaining water mechanics, and I would love to. So what we think we'll do is we'll come over here and we'll use maybe this space over here, or we could actually change it to here. So or would we like to do it over here? Not really sure where the best location is. It may be down here. Okay. That has bad water flowing through it. So what I'm going to do is we're going to come through here. So I can empty this at will, and then we can talk about mechanics. So I was asked to explain the differences between the different types of water containment methods. I probably should have done this earlier on, but for those of you watching, yeah, we will explain it now. So what I'll do is I'll come and put some levies in here. So let's get these built. Let's just get these built. I will also be putting in doing a expansion of our. So I want to do a whole water mechanics, sort of like deep dive understanding of the different water types, the different ways to contain water. So look for that maybe next week. I'm not sure. We do have a flooded building. Where's that? Oh, that's fine. I'm not going to cry about that. I do need to figure this out, but we're not going to worry about it for now. So look for that deep dive into the water mechanics. Maybe next week, maybe the week after, I will go through and I explain different water sources, different dams like this in more detail. But just for now, we will do this. Now, I'm just going to let this carry on. I just want to check how this is going. So, is food in this district stabilising? Food in this district is at 400, so we have loads of berries. Bread is coming online, fine. How is it over here? We have loads of berries, carrots, fine. It's all good. Do I actually have storage for bread? Bread, please tell me I have storage for bread. Sunflower seeds, cattail crackers. Grilled chestnuts. We don't actually have storage for bread. Right, so instead of cattail crackers, we're just going to have storage for bread, and hopefully they'll bring some over. Anyway, have they built us in? So they built this in for us. So if I'm going to slow this right down. So you'll see a building unit in Timberborn is 1. So this is 6 by 1. So each unit is 1. So if I was just to open this, let's just let this rip. Water's going to flow out. And what it will do is it will fill up the space it has available until it hits 1. It is also going to overflow here just because of the way the water folding works. So the water will come over here and it will fill this up, and it will fill this up until it can fill it up no further, and then it will overspill. So that is a levee. We use levees to block our dams. So our dams here are made of levees. So now I'm just going to delete these, just so the water can flow back out, and we will close these and we'll set these back to auto once again. So, oh, look at that. That's got a bit weird, isn't it? So the water will flow out, no drama. Now, the next tool we have, which is one we start with, we don't start with levees in this game, we start with dams. So we're going to put some dams in here. And I will once again get these high prioritised. And as you can see, we've now flooded our lovely industrial area. I'm going to speed this up to get this water gone away. There we go. And they should come and build this next. Food seems to be recovering nicely. I think the advent of bread will make a big difference. Wheat flour. Yeah. They do need to put this in, but I'm also not too concerned. Like they can do that at their leisure. I'd rather show you what you need to see. So let's get this sped up. By the time you're watching this, I will probably be in a pub somewhere in Worcester, which is in the UK. So I hope you're enjoying watching this while I'm probably drunk somewhere. So that'll be nice for you. I did actually watch, so I'm recording this on the day that JC released his Ant Farm first episode, and I was very interested. That looks like a very terrifying map. It looked good. It looked like it's going to be challenging. I ridiculed RC when he did it because I think he does a bit of a meme playthrough, doesn't he? But yeah, it is what it is. And also, like, I don't know if there is drama around like RC receiving like the award for the golden log, but I feel like he plays a little bit less serious than some of the other YouTubers, so I'm kind of like, should he have got it? But what can we do? That's what public votes are for. I remember in the UK when we had a boat, we had a choice to name a boat, and we named it Boating McBoatface. So, you know, we're not the best ones to do polls. So this is really starting to annoy me now. So what we're going to do is we're going to come and we're going to take this down to one levy. The amount of water going through here appears to be far too much for this to handle, so we're just going to whack that as high priority, and I will get these in here. We have 21 empty jobs. That is a concern. How much beaver space do we have? Interesting. I know we have basically our full quota of beavers over here, don't we? Yeah, 26 on one kit. So, fine. This is fine until we decide to put the extra farmhouse in, because we can't sort the wheat issues. But they're moving stuff around nicely over here. I'm not concerned that this is starving. So this is how a district... I mean, I would like all of these to be full, but this is how a district should function, ostensibly. So, can you put that last dam in for us? And also put this in. They have a couple of jobs to do, as well as coming over here. I did create a load of extra jobs, didn't I? So I'm guessing our building huts are... yeah, they're pretty much empty, aren't they? Yeah, so we only have 8 builders. This is fine. So, you can see we have here... that is a dam. It looks a little bit... oh, it's just the way the shade is on it. So, compared to a levee, I have frozen. No, I haven't. It's just jank. So I'm going to open this again. So compared to our levee, which was set to 0.65, I'm also going to slow this down massively, which was set to... so, I'm getting ahead of myself. A levee is considered 1 out of 1, so it is an entire block. These are set to 0.65. So realistically, this is showing me up now. Synchronized. Let's close one of them, just to let a little bit less water out. And so the water, I can't believe how annoying this is. Come on, flow through. There should be plenty of space for you to flow through. Let's speed it up so until it re-equilibrium. Will it meet equilibrium? Yes, it will. There we go. Okay. Ignore this bit over here. So, a dam is set to 0.65, so it will allow water to flow through to 0.65. So, what it will do is, it will do this. It will allow 0.65, so you can see the gap around the edge of here. And if I was to close the other sluice, set it back to auto, the water in here will remain at this height once it's done its weird graphics. So the water will flow out until it hits 0.65, and then the rest of the water will be retained. It's kind of what we're doing down here. So we're letting the water overtop, but when we have enough water, it will just flow through, which is good. That's what we want it to do. Is this better? It's probably producing less flour, but it's probably better. So, that is a second form of water control we can get. So I'm going to delete... I should have done this in a different order. I'm going to delete these, and now I'm going to put in some steps. And then we're going to put in 2 floodgates. So we'll get that high priority as well. This is taking longer than I thought it would, so I'm going to try and dip in and out of other projects at the same time. So, we're in cycle 15, day 12. I hope we get a drought next, because I would really like to come over here and finish this. But the other project I thought we was going to go for was this bad tide rig, wasn't it? To shut this bad water source off. So, should we start to think about coming up here? We are going to put a zipline station up there, don't worry. Nobody has to cry that I'm not doing that, because I will. That's horrendous. Love it. Up, up, up. And I don't know if we're going to put the zipline station in right away. We might not, because I'm going to kind of want to put it in this gap down here once we've cleared the bad water. So we might just have to deal with the circuitous route for now, which will be fine. So is it underwater? It is. Badwater rig. 4K science, we have 15K. That's fine. So a badwater rig is different in the sense that this is a water pump. It's pumping water. Fine, nice, lovely. I've noticed since the update that this can be a little bit weird. But anyway. So badwater rig. So this will pump water out. This will block the source, but allow the pumping of the water from the source itself. If that makes sense. So it will. We won't have any flow, and it'll be a lovely building that will just pump it, and we'll get bad water straight out of it. So I'm going to let them kind of do that. Oh, look at this. So these are set to non-synchronized. So I'm going to open one of these again. So the difference between a floodgate and a dam is I have a lot more granular control. So I can set this to 0.95, 0.9. We'll set that to 0.9. And when I open one of these, we will just slow it down again. Maybe we'll put it on 2-speed. We will open this, and water will flow out, and it will overtop at that level. So it allows us to keep a little bit more control of the water we have, as opposed to just a flat 0.65. Before you had sluices, which we will get onto next. Oh, not again. Before we had sluices, that we will get onto next, you had to use floodgates as in your bad tide prevention schemes. So the game was a lot more manual. There was some mods. They were really good mods. But until then, you know, so if I now close this, the water will be retained to a level of 0.90. Once it's evened out. There we go. So we're going to delete these. I should have done it there to begin with to save a little bit of resource. So we'll demolish these, and what we will finally put in is our sluices. Oh yeah, a bad tide. That's exactly what I wanted. Not. So, high priority, and high priority. Hopefully our beaver population has started to increase somewhat. Or do I need to get another housing unit in? My god. Maybe we delete this. Put a house in. We are going to come and change this again when we get on to the aesthetic bit. Don't worry. This is ugly as sin, and I appreciate that it is. Pop that around there like that. And we'll probably get that high prioritised. So, let's come back over and watch this. So what's good about sluices? A sluice has a lot more granular control. So you can see here I have these. I'm going to configure these to synchronize. So you can set all of your water control systems to synchronize with the adjacent. So you only have to change one. So you can change close above downstream depth. So if I did this and pressed automatic. So if I remove this one, it'll open up. But what it will do is it will only allow water out to the level that is predetermined downstream. So we'll speed this up a little bit. So you can see the water flowing through. And when we get onto a bad tide, I'll show you the final system of a sluice. Okay, let's auto-close these ones. Let's just auto-close these ones just for our demonstration. So, you can see these ones here, that it's closed above downstream depth of 0.5. It's let the water out that it needs, and it will continue to do so. So that's fine. That's nice. Keeps that nice and irrigated. I was about to say lubricated, and that's definitely not the word. Bread is such a good food source as well. We're producing everything at a much higher rate now. Even though this is a little bit of a, journey for them. And our well-being's increased as well because of the food. Lovely stuff. So when we get to our bad tide, we will go on to the next stage of talking about how our diversion systems work. Yeah, okay. And are they moving up here now? I guess they are. So is this the entire colony? So we have one excess beaver over here. I mean, I guess you can just come and get in there, because we are importing a lot of resources into here. Yeah, we are. These should be set to all be obtained. Otherwise, what's the point of having haulers? That's my bad. They should drag it to where the beavers live, not like the other stuff. And wheat should be set to obtain from here and prioritised by haulers, and be set to supply from there, prioritised by haulers. Supply prioritised by haulers. There we go. And you can't set this to prioritised by haulers because these guys' jobs are to literally run around, so they will. Let's see how they move stuff about. That's better. Right. They getting up here? Are they already building this? I don't think it's going to take them too long. I could put the resources in, but I don't think it's actually that far. I mean, it is a reasonable distance, but it's fine. Everything's fine. And we're going to be able to open this up to as a route down to here for our sorting out of the map. We probably will get into dirt next episode. I feel like that might be something good to get into. Okay, so power has increased. We're charged, okay. We'll get into dirt next episode, and then we'll think about how we're going to build this. Whether we use dirt or we use platforms, please let me know. I haven't had much feedback on that one, but it's up to you guys. Let me know. Oh, we can't quite build that. I guess you could put the stairs there, and then they could come and build that. Seeing as they haven't got too much to do. And hopefully this is going to allow us to increase our beaver population a little bit. It's amazing how many beavers you need to run this show. So 12. Yeah, okay. I mean, they are all builders, so it doesn't really matter too much. I don't hate this area down here. I quite like it. I kind of hate this, but it kind of is what it is because, you know, this is how this map is. There's no obvious place to do it, and I don't want to do a shed load of tunnelling. So they're building this. Love that. And we are getting into demonstrating our bad tide defense. So I will come over here. So let's slow this right down. So sluices can also work by close above contamination. So these will close above contamination of 1%. So if any of this water behind it is contaminated, it will close. Likewise, this is set to close below contamination of 1%. So if any of the water behind this isn't contaminated, it will close. So currently, you can see that this side is closed, this side is letting the good water in. And when we speed up and the bad tide starts, which will be in 0.3 days, if you'll excuse my my gaslighting you into thinking this was going to be imminent. But we are going to get there, 0.2 days. I'm not doing a countdown. We can just watch for a second. I say as I get really bored. Come on. Come on, time. It waits for no man. So, this should now immediately reflex. So you can see the bad water starts to come out of the water sources and immediately yeets off the map this way. It should be the same over here. This is on a slightly different footing, isn't it? So we do have this issue that it can pop out this top of here. So once this shuts, it probably does yeet out the top a little bit. But, you know, it's all flowing out this way. It's all flowing out that way. The only thing we do have is our water seep over here, which we will come and talk about soon when I figure out what I want to do. I haven't quite decided yet. I think we're probably going to yeet off the map this way. We'll have a much more discussion about seeps in our water video that I'm going to set up. So, how are you doing over here? They are not doing bad at all. But what I want to do is I also want to get started on a larger project. So we're going to have our mine down here, I think we discussed. But we also need to get to our mine down here. So, or did we want to go for the mine up here? No, I think because we're going to flood this with water when we're like making our map nice and green. So we're going to come to that down to the mine over here. So let's dig out a route. So we're going to do that there. I mean, I could come up this way, but that's a bit further from a zipline station. So I kind of want to come down here. We're also going to have to build poles as we go. Or maybe we put... So this is a route, isn't it? Maybe we're going to have to... What if I was to take out... Yeah, like Jason has said in the comments before, I think it's Jason, the limitations of the zipline. They're great if you want to get somewhere really quickly, because like in my Iron Teeth playthrough, it's taking a lot of metal blocks for us to get to our locations, but the limit of the connectors is... It's definitely a thing, and I get why people want them to not be connected, but I also not be limited by the connections, but I also get why the devs have done it, because, you know, you have to be able to differentiate the factions somehow, doesn't you? It would just make Folktails just too good. Genuinely think Folktails are still my preferred faction, though. I'm not going to pretend they're not. Does this need treated planks? Yes, it does. So they're all going in. It's just... We don't have any production bottlenecks. Things just take time. But I might get these prioritised by haulers just to speed them up a little bit. And how's... So food in the main district is fine, 1.7k. Bread really does a lot of the heavy lifting. We're also getting the cattail crackers and the maple pastries. Excellent. And over here we're also fine. Bread, doing heavy lifting. Cattail, I mean, I haven't actually got storages for the cattail crackers or the maple pastries, so... Could we put some in? Just so that we have completeness. So I could put that there. I don't hate it. And then I don't want it to be over there. I could... That doesn't work. I guess what I could do is I could just put them like that, and what we'll do is we'll put maple pastries in these. I probably should have, like, you know, thought about this when I was building it, but it is what it is. But at least we can get them over here now, and that food well-being will work for across district. Let's put some nice decorations on top. So I'll put a roof like that, and we'll put a roof like that. Lovely stuff. How are they doing? Fine. How are they doing down here? Excellent. So we're going to put in another zipline station, and we will get a path down to here. So we're going to come along here, down here. So we're going to have to jump up here. So a lot of people will, especially Jason, and he's right in the comments, will say don't particularly rely on a mine until you can have bots, because we haven't really talked about injury levels yet. We will talk about injury levels. I think once we've got the mine built, we will. But the mine's going to take a little while to build. So I kind of want to put it in now. I could have just come around the edge here. That's really a good point. But we didn't, so whatever. So let's put in the paths and structures as well. So we want a zipline pylon. We'll put one there so they can build it. We'll also put one there so they can build it. And then we'll put a station down here. So as for the mine, it is under metal and it costs 4k science to unlock. We have plenty of science. So I am going to unlock it and I'm going to orientate it this way. We're going to have our zipline station down here and scrap mail storage, and the resources required for the mine are going to be down here. So I'm going to pop it that way. And probably once we've built it, we're probably going to, well, we probably will delete this stuff. We do have to come over here to do some of the stuff I want to do, but I'm not sure how long that's going to take. And cycle 16 day 1, we are into cycle 16. So if you come over here, just for the completeness of our kind of mini tutorial, you can see this is reflex back. Sluices are chucking the water this way, and the Badwater is now not a problem. I hope that has explained what you would like in the comments, the information. But if it hasn't, please let me know and I will try to endeavour to do better for you. Oh god. Our batteries have expired. They used all of that power during... The wind's obviously not blowing very strongly. And how are they doing here? Half the gears, half the treated planks and almost all of the metal blocks. Treated planks are becoming a log jam, so we will have to keep an eye on that. We could run power off of this side. How do we feel about that? Ugh, I hate this area. We are going to have to rebuild this. But for now, I've sort of come to the realization I try and build perfectly too much, when really what I should be doing is I should be building for what's happening in the game rather than what I want to be happening in the game. I'm definitely learning about that in our Iron Teeth playthrough. So why let perfect be the enemy of good? Let's just get 2 more wood workshops in just here, and we can make it look pretty later on. So let's get that probably prioritised, I guess. At least that'll stop the bottleneck of treated planks. But look at them, they're all flowing up here to chuck stuff in. Fingers crossed some of them are. Let's connect this up. Connect it up. And I'm guessing we're just going to rip all of this out. So, we were talking about seeps. So, a seep is a water source that will maintain to 0.85 or 0.75, I can't quite remember. So rather than like the ones we have up here where they just continue to shut water out, if it's saturated, it will not produce any more water. That's why during the bad tide it didn't immediately start to choke bad water out, because water was already here. So in the theme of that, what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. I think we're going to box this in, but also we're going to create a bad tide diversion. So how do I get down here to this? I'm thinking I actually... Do I do this? Because I don't think that's contaminated. And then what I'm going to do is put some steps down here. And we're going to come over. So we're going to be relying on the beavers in this district to build this. So this is going to take a little while. And what I want to do is I want to maybe put 1 layer of dynamite in. I'm going to put 1 layer of dynamite. And what we're going to do is, so we're going to have to get extract and stuff over here as well. So this is going to take a while. We're going to tunnel off the edge of the map here. And then what we will probably do... No, I don't need to have dynamite there. Yes, no, I do have... No dynamite there. Stop being a silly sausage. Come up here before, and we can... Oh, they're not messing around, are they? And we can... Where is it? Demolish these trees. So what we're going to be doing, because we're not producing any resource in this district, we are purely relying on the stuff from other districts to build this stuff here. So it's going to be an interesting exercise in multi-districts working as well. I may actually reduce the amount of haulers just for this for just a second, just so we can have a bit more beavers on the go. How are you doing down there? Great. Gears are almost in. Just treated planks. Treated planks are a bit of a bottleneck. Fine. Oh, okay. Always make sure you prioritize your power production as well when you do everything, not just your not just the buildings themselves. And where are we? Are they building any of this yet? There they are. Pop that in there as well. Just going to take time. I guess they've kind of serviced everything over here that they can. Yeah, no, we are just low on gears and etc, etc. So let's go focus on what these guys are doing over here. Good. And do we have dynamite and extract being brought over here? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in maybe another lane of storage. So I guess we're going to come back here, and I'm going to put in a storage for extract and dynamite, and we're going to have extract here, and we're going to have, where is dynamite there, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to have them set to supply, and I'm going to have that set to supply. And what we're going to do is we're going to come, because we're going to be coming over here to do this, I want to have resources over here so we haven't got to keep our small amount of beavers running around all the time. So what we're going to do is we're going to go storage, small warehouse, dynamite, obtain, and we'll have a small tank for extract, which is also set to obtain. So we're also going to unlock the double and triple dynamite, because why not? We might as well just get them. I haven't talked to you about contamination barriers yet either. We need to talk about that. We talk about impermeable floors. Yeah, I think that's everything in there. We'll talk. Dirt's going to be a whole episode by itself. So I'm going to put double in. So double dynamite, it uses extract and explosives, but it goes down 2 rather than 1. I also realise we need to also put in a small pile for the logs. Not the logs, the planks that they're going to be using. And we'll set that to obtain as well. So let's get all of this high prioritised. Lovely. Fingers crossed they're bringing extract over already. Extract and explosives. How much explosives do we have? We have a reasonable amount. They should be doing that. Come on. Yeah, it's just taking time. It's just taking a little bit of time. They are, however, running over here and doing this very quickly. So I'm guessing maybe the... So that's where the path's going to be for that. This can be a temporary path, that's fine. So I'm guessing we put our zipline station in here, and then that's a nice straight line. So moderate production, moderate production, moderate. Okay, you built that already. And then they'll be able to come here and build the mine. And that's a nice straight line. Well, it's not completely straight, is it? It's slightly off centre. But they wouldn't have been able to build it if I'd put it there, so tough. How are these guys getting on over here? They haven't put this in yet. It is night time, I will give them the benefit of the doubt. How is our Badwater rig going in? 8 more treated planks. 8 more treated planks, that's fine. And then we're not going to have Badwater flowing off of here at all ever again. And we may treat this as our first area we're going to sort of dam up. Yes, I think we will. So we'll come down here, dam this up so the water can flow through these ways into down here. I'm excited, I'm looking forward to that. Oh, we also had to pull these out, didn't we? We discussed that during a drought. We have a lot to do during a drought. So fingers crossed they're going to detonate this soon. And then we can put a path around here. Boom. And what I want to do... Oh god, I need to delete that. I don't know how they built that first. That's very interesting. But what we'll do is we'll come down here and they should be able to come in and do all of this. And that should not be too much of an issue. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put a sluice around. We might have 2 sets of sluices. We might have sluice up here. No, we're going to put a sluice down here. We're just going to put metal blocks around this. And then the water, not metal blocks, levies. And then the water will be able to flow. Bad water will be able to flow off here when it's a bad tide, and when it's a good tide, it will be fine, and we'll just continue to flow into our water network. I'm loving this water. I'm loving this food. Food is absolutely recovered over in this district. Absolutely fine. They are eating a lot of the bread. Oh no, they're not. They're fine. And over here, importation could be better. I think we need to work on cattail and maples, maybe grilled potatoes. But apart from that, lovely stuff. It's great. I think we maybe need 1 more farm. But we'll look at that soonish. And before we actually well, I guess we can still open these. So maybe I'll plant some stuff over here or demonstrate the contamination barriers. Actually, why don't we demonstrate that now? So they're over here building this. So what we can do is if you notice here, we have what is known as a contamination barrier. Now, the iron teeth have something different, which is called an irrigation barrier. That prevents all irrigation. So even water, bad tide. The Folktails just have a contamination barrier. So if I pop this down here, you can see it's contiguous. You can do that, but they will get through the corner. So you need to make sure you've got it like that. And you will see the contamination which is on the floor, so the red veins. If once I put that down, they will disappear. So you can see the extent of where they're stretching to. You can see it's kind of here. I am just going to high prioritize this. I know this. I'm fully aware this is a waste of resources, but this is a learning playthrough. So we're just going to demonstrate it. So hopefully they're going to come over here and start to build that. Have they built this? They have built this. So I also need them to. So you notice how that has now capped this off. This is just... We will never have bad water ever again flowing out of here. Unless we delete this building. But what we also need to do is we also need to have a way of getting down here to put in the zipline station, which we are going to use. So if I pop that there. Zipline station there. And a zipline pylon. Is there a world in which this suits both? No, I don't think there is. So I think that needs to go. If I was to put that there and that there, double that. Too far. Right. So this is going to be horrendous because I cannot be bothered to make it look pretty. That will go there, that will go there, and that will go there. And then all of this will connect up and they will be able to work here and we'll be able to get rid of this. Construction lacks materials. My God. This flooding is annoying. Maybe if I come and put some levies in here, it'll kind of direct the water this way. I wouldn't normally do this, but we can just see if it will allow us because we're not getting the materials over here because it's all sat in that. It's all sat in these over here. So maybe they'll come and build that, and that'll just act as a nice natural like breakneck that will stop this from flooding. I don't know why this is flooding. It's a bit weird. But you can see, with these contamination barriers going in, the veins on the floor no longer would impact crop planting. So a better actually example of where we want this is probably over here. You see these crops died? If I was to put... these trees have died, they're not crops. If I was to put... where are they? Landscaping. If I was to put contamination barriers here, it would in theory stop these trees from getting contaminated. Apart from this one bit. You can get around that though, so there's a cheeky trick here. So if you put the contamination barrier here, delete this, and put some steps over the top. I do actually remember one thing. In the comments I was also asked about spiral stairs. So let's unlock them. I love spiral stairs. They do require treated planks, but they allow you to build really, really cool towers. We may not talk about it this episode, but rather than like having to, you know, like I can put one here, it allows us to go up at that 90 degree, just makes that journey a little bit easier. There's loads of stuff you can do for spiral stairs. I could have popped it in here. You know, just make everything a little bit easier. I could have put spiral stairs up here, and when we were building our way up here, just to make it, you know, that's just that one bit easier. I mean, let's do this how I should be doing it with spiral stairs. They are literally a game changer. So let's go back to pathing. So I am still going to put this one in, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put spiral stairs in instead, and then we're also going to put it here, so I can then go down like that, and then we can have proper stairs, and that is a little bit cleaner than what we were doing. Does it look Does it look any better? Probably. Oh, we actually need to come up there, don't we? So I can run a path around here as well. And we're just going to build some stairs up to there so we can build that. They are really good. I don't think they should require treated planks. I really don't. I feel like they're a lot more useful in the early game. They're also obviously useful in the end game, but I feel like you're penalised by not being able to access them. Is that right? Yeah, it's just a little bit frustrating. And you can see here, all of this is blocked. Well, not all of it, because it's not, but let's build that last one. And then you can see that we would, if we was to put a water dump here, in this middle bit here, we would have access to all of this as plantable space. What is going on over here? I really want to cap this off, but we haven't had a drought yet. And we are absolutely hammering through gears again because of these building projects. Once this is built, and I mean the Badwater rig is already built, nothing should take too long. Thank you for the commenters and your questions. They've been great. I have it written down in my little notebook of things to talk about. So sorry I didn't quite get to the spiral stairs thing straight away. I hope you are still watching. This is the downside of separate districts. These only have 4 builders in here. Now I know you're saying you'll tell me you could put in another builder set, and I could, but I don't know. It just feels like ruins the niche of it. Like I want this to be a self-sufficient district. I don't want them to rely on other builders. I mean, over here I might. Am I that annoyed by this not being done that I would want to come up here and build a bridge? Not yet, I'm not. But yeah, so I think we've actually we're on track to cap 2 of the Badwater sources, and then we're going to be very close to being able to work on greenification. So we have this one here. We're working on sorting this seep out. We have this one here. We've capped this one. So yeah, so this one's going to become a power production. This one's getting capped. Oh, so we have 3 different types of Badwater sources that we're utilising. Excellent, I love it. I'm really annoyed that this stuff's flooded. It kind of is what it is. We just won't look at that. What do I want to see them do? I'm not so sure they need to be building this. I think I'd rather see them build this, and this. And that would cheer me up a little bit more than... Cheer me up a bit more than, yeah. Seems to do the other stuff. For those of you that watched my latest INT video, I'd like to thank you for watching it. I probably got a bit deep in there with some of the personal stuff that's been going on in my life, but yeah. Thank you, and thank you for listening either way. This will be going out after that, so... I'm in a bit of a much better headspace today, put it that way. What are they doing? Are they running up here slowly? They are running up here slowly. Running on up that hill. So, the mine is going in. We have Badwater rig. The triumvirate of endgame production of stuff is going to be, not the printing press, I mean it could be the printing press, is going to be under landscaping, and it is the dirt excavator. So, we're going to unlock that, and we're also going to unlock the dirt terrain block, so that is a good chunk of our science. So the dirt excavator is this monstrosity. It has 2nd level entry, and you see those blades? They're used to pick up dirt. So it chops up the ground, turns it to nice dirt blocks, and you can use them. So, we need to think about where this is going to go, because this is going to dig a big hole. And you can actually use it very creatively on some maps. In my Leaf Coats playthrough, I used it to dig down where it would take me too long to dynamite. Well, Leaf Coats don't have dynamite, so I had to come up with another way of getting down quite quickly, and I used this, and I think I used it to quite good effect. So, it needs power. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to put it here. And I don't think it's going to impact too much. So we can put that there. And, as a bonus, what we can do is, we can pop that there, So they can, actually no, we don't even need that. We can just come in with these spiral staircases, like so. And pop that there. And then maybe what I can do is I can put in a little pile for dirt. The most inefficient thing ever, but I can put that there. So, dirt, and we will set that to supply. And we had that prioritised by haulers. So they should come build this. So it's going to be 100 gears, which is lovely because we do not have gears at all. 100 treated planks, which is also the same because we're chucking treated planks to everything else, and the metal blocks, which we do have. So it's just going to take a little bit of time. Like everything in this playthrough. But I'm glad we've sort of plotted that out, because what we're going to do is we're going to come in with our dirt blocks. And we are going to... Do you reckon we go left? Or do you reckon we just actually just keep going across the map? So I just come in with... We'll do a proper dirt tutorial next time, I guess, because it would take time to explain. We just come over here with dirt and we just viaduct it over the map. I think that could look really good. And then we can also run some water wheels all the way down it. And it's going to be a pain in the ass to build the power, to get the power across for that. The power lines the other side, but I mean, we can try. Come on, guys. Did this sort our issue? No, it didn't. Well, that was hopeful thinking, wasn't it? That was very hopeful thinking. Can I force water any other direction? Will that dry? Yeah, that's dried that stuff out. I just don't know what it's going to have done over here. Let's see what this looks like. So it just makes that flood a little bit more. Only lets a little bit of water through. That's fine. At least I can come over here and use some of these, I guess. So the haulers should be bringing stuff over now. But there is no explosives. Are we importing? We're not importing Badwater. We're importing... It's not, because there's explosives. Do you see what I mean? Manage distribution. I would like to... I've never understood this screen. Import if needed. So where is explosives? I mean, they do need it. They do need explosives. Where's extract? Am I just blind, or have I gone like really silly? Extract, extract, extract. Maybe we should put some antidote over there as well. I can't see extract. Antidote, pine resin, biofuel, dirt, catalyst, extract. Import. Always import. So that's going to force the dynamite across. I don't know why the dynamite... This is why people don't like district mechanics, because I clearly have storage for explosives and it's just not being brought in. And I can't fathom why. But it's there. It's now there. And they are coming down here and building it. What I would say is, when you're doing stuff like this, always chase it with paths, because there's nothing worse than coming along like a cycle later and going, no, they should have built that by now, realising your path wasn't long enough. It's very frustrating. And we are going to have a drought soon. So we're probably going to change tact once we have that drought. We are on 48 minutes though, so it's probably not going to be this episode. We'll probably talk about it in the next episode. They are not messing around with that stuff, are they? So we have all of this in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause for a second. Let's just get all the stuff out we don't need. Let's just delete all of this. I know I could recover the resources, but I'm really not that bothered. I'm really not that fussed. If this was hard mode... Well, I would say, if this was hard mode, I would recover it, but you've seen me play hard mode, and... yeah. Well, some of you have seen me play hard mode, and I just don't care. So we'll get all of this out. Lovely, all the way down to there. And this zip line will then allow easy access up here, which means we can also delete this. And what do I want to put in up here? I think this is the perfect space for a large Badwater tank. So what we'll do is we'll set that to Badwater, put that down there, and we will set that to supply. And I would also like that to get that produced as quickly as possible. We probably should move this Badwater tank over to here somewhere. How are you... It's because I screwed around with this, isn't it? Is it? It should just flow through. The water is moderately triggering me at the moment. Maybe we put that down to 0.95. Just so a little bit of the excess goes straight over the top. Or will that cause us to back up? They are working quickly there though. So, quite a productive episode I think. We talked about dams, levies, sluices, floodgates, to give it more of a basic understanding. The Badwater rig has gone in, which will improve our production of Badwater. We've started to put the mine in. We've moved over to the mine. I've demonstrated contamination barriers. This is the Folktails, not the iron teeth. So that's been demonstrated. I guess this has stopped overtopping. This must have been overtopping at one point. Anyway, we've started to put our Badwater diversion for our seep in, and successfully both our districts are, well, this isn't self-sufficient. This is an ancillary district, but it doesn't produce any food here or any water, and it is surviving. So I'm very pleased with that. And this is continuing to be an absolute nightmare. Maybe that just go down to 0.85. So, thank you for watching. Let me know if there's anything you want to do. Next time we're going to... Oh, we also put this in, didn't we? The dirt excavator. Next time we're going to get into looking at this aqueduct, turning it into a large power source so that this basically remains power at all times, even during bad tides. It's not super crucial on normal mode, but we are going to do that. And then we're probably going to start to think about well-being. I'm not too sure how much... This is going to be a full playthrough. We're going to do the full thing. We're going to get to the wonder. We're going to greenify the map. I'm not going to try and max out beavers or anything. I will try and improve well-being. So I'm not sure. Maybe this gets to 16 episodes. I'm not sure. We will see. But please, any questions? We do have to obviously sort all of this out and this mess out over here. If there is any questions, please do let me know. I would love to answer them for you. So thank you, and I will see you on Wednesday for this playthrough, when this will be resuming. So, see you then. Oh, and if you've enjoyed this, please hit like and subscribe.